Hey guys, it's Alicia, obviously. Okay, so I got this book over the weekend. It's called Dark Mirror, and it's by MJ Putney. And I'm going to read the back to you, and then we'll get talking about the book. Okay. At 16, Lady Victoria Mansfield, youngest daughter of the Earl and Countess of Fairmont, is destined for a charmed life and her choice of mates worthy of her status. Then she makes a terrifying discovery that will ruin her life and disgrace her family forever. Tori's blood is tainted by magic. When a shocking accident forces Tori to reveal her despised skill, she is immediately exiled to Lackland Abbey, a reform school for young men and women in her position. Tori's greatest wish is to be cured so she can return home and perhaps recover some of her shattered life. Instead, curiosity and the lure of magic lead Tori to rebel students who have pledged their talents to protect England. As she joins them in their secret studies, she discovers her full powers and is drawn to the handsome, enigmatic young Marquis of Alar. But Alar's reserve and haunting secret keep him away, though she can see equal longing in his eyes. So this book, I definitely recommend if you're going to read it that you kind of be a little bit older. I would say probably 15 and up, and not because of the actual content of it, but more because of the style of it. Now, MJ Putney is actually a New York Times bestselling author of adult historical fiction books. This is her first YA piece. She is very, how do I put this? The words that she chooses to use sometimes can be kind of confusing if you aren't in a setting where you're learning them already. So I definitely would say 15 or about freshmen in high school and older. So that's going to be most of you guys that actually watch my videos. So definitely recommend this book. You do want to read the prologue at the beginning. I made the mistake of kind of skipping over the prologue, though. You know, it's probably not that important. It's actually very important to the story, and you'll be very lost if you don't know the basis of the beginning. So pretty much this book, as I read from the synopsis, is just about a girl named Victoria, and they call her Tori in the book, excuse me. And she has what they call mage in her blood, and that is that she is magical, and she has magical talents. Now, her talent is that she can float. I don't feel that this is a spoiler in any way. You learn on the very first page that's what she's doing. So I think that anybody could go pick up this book and you would realize the very first page, she's floating. I would definitely say that this book is I think that the synopsis kind of makes it seem like she goes about her daily life for a while. Really, she doesn't. I believe it's the third chapter that she goes into the Lackland Abbey. So I don't think that she's actually, most of the book is about her being magical, which I enjoyed. I was a little afraid after reading the synopsis before I bought the book that it was going to be more of about her life before she became this way, but really it wasn't, and it's a very, very decent story. I really liked the characters. I think that because she's writing for a different audience, it might have been a little bit more difficult for her word choice wise. I think there are definitely some words she could have simplified. It's definitely not words that you guys can't look up or aren't going to understand in the context. I just feel like she could have maybe worked a little bit harder. It was still a really good book. I still enjoyed it. So now for the spoiler section, I have to be a little bit more quieter with you guys because my roommate just got home and I think she's trying to do homework. So I'm going to be quiet. Okay, so for the spoiler section, as you know, do not be watching this if you have not read it, unless you want to know what happens and want the book to be ruined for you, in which that case you can watch it, but if not, I don't want you watching this section. Okay, so let's talk about Victoria. I think that she was a great character. I hate her parents. I really don't think that her mother tried at all to keep her there. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't because of the time period of the story, but I feel like she put a lot of faith into her mother that was not earned or really necessary. I feel like the character that I like the least, and I think some of you guys actually might like, is Cynthia. I can't connect to her. I can't, and I know that we're made to kind of feel sorry for her. I was really confused about the quote in the book when she's talking to Elspeth about when Elspeth tells her the person she doesn't want to touch, or the person she wants touching her isn't the Marquis, it's you, I was kind of like, what? And she never really explains that. She never really talks about that, and I think it's a very huge part of the book that you can't just ignore that. So I was, especially it being towards the end, I know that kind of stuck with me. The Marquis, oh god, when I thought he died, I literally screamed no, and then I flipped the page and I saw that she was no, with a whole bunch of exclamation marks. So that was, yeah, I definitely felt in her mindset. My book actually has the, let me find it for you guys here, has the, for Dark Passage, because this is a series. So for Dark Passage, actually has a little snippet of it. I actually didn't like the snippet. I was kind of disappointed because I thought that they were going to go back, but then it kind of seems like they stay in the Dark Passage one, so I'm a little confused about that. I'm hoping that obviously if that gets explained, I definitely want to read the next one to find that out, but I think I'll be a little bit disappointed if they don't go back. So that'll be interesting to see. I'm trying to think. I like Elspeth. I feel like there's a secret with Miss Wheaton. I tried very hard to like her. I tried to like her, Mr. Stevens. I feel like there's something else going on there background with. I feel like there's something that I'm either not telling her, or not like a secret. This maybe my paranoia coming through, but like a secret plan against her. Like they're not really on her side. They just want her to think that they're on her side. Again, that might not even be even remotely relevant, but that's how I felt throughout the whole piece, and it was really nerve-wracking because I just kept thinking, okay, this is when they're gonna come in and they're gonna screw her over, and it just never happened. I was surprised by the end of it that it didn't happen. Okay, so I guess this is gonna be a really quick book review. It's a short book. It's not a long book by any means. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give this book a 3.9 out of 5. And let me say why I don't think it's a 4.0. Some of the other books that I've probably been too harsh on comparing it to this book, I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I think that those books were not better written, but they were definitely better in the fact that I connected with the characters more. I connect with Tori very well in this story. However, I feel like the other characters are lacking. I feel that Marquis, okay, maybe the Marquis, but really he doesn't even talk that much, I just felt that maybe we're talking 3.5 to 3.9 here. I think it kind of depends on what mood I'm in to read this book. I thought it was a good book. I definitely would reread it. I wouldn't recommend not reading it. But yeah, so I guess that's my review. It's a really quick one today. Like always, my URL link is right down there for the blog, and if you have any book suggestions, I'm more than willing to hear them out. My next book that I will be doing a review over is 13 Reasons Why. I just ordered that book through Barnes & Noble, and I was going to talk to you guys about that actually. I wanted to recommend for everybody, anytime you order a book, I want you to go to Amazon, or I want you to go to Barnes & Noble and look through their authorized seller list. I got the 13 Reasons Why hardcover, never been used edition for $1.99. Now that is a lot cheaper than I'm sure most of you who have either had the book or have, tried to decide about whether or not to buy it at Barnes & Noble. It's definitely cheaper, even with shipping costs. The total was $5 for me, and I can't beat that. That's a great deal, and I just want you guys to have that same deal because I know that books aren't cheap. So I should let you guys know that. There's my review. Hope you guys have a great day. Alright, bye guys.